The next flower I'm going to demonstrate to you is this pansy. I'm just going to be showing you one petal. I'm working with Prismacolor pencils on watercolour paper. I'm just going to start off with a pale lilac-y colour. I'm just going to give this petal a very soft all over coat, paying attention to where it gets paler at the edges. I think that's the thing with working on flowers, it's just to keep the layers really soft, build them up gradually. I'm just avoiding these white edges, but you could always use an embossing tool if you were worried you might miss them and go over them by accident. I'm just going to go into a slightly darker one and fill into these really dark areas now. Still just using a light pressure though. And I can still just see my graphite underdrawing of all these veins underneath, so I'm going to start putting those in as well so I don't lose where they are. And here there's an interesting effect. Where the vein crosses the dark area, it looks paler than the background, and then where it crosses the light area of petal, it appears dark, even though it is actually the same colour going through. I'm just going to suggest that by making it slightly darker either side of the vein across the dark area. just going to put that yellow centre in. This is canary yellow. Just getting paler towards the centre. And then a touch of chartreuse. Just getting rid of a bit of graphite. And then this is Spanish orange. Tiny bit more yellow in there. I'm going to take in a warm grey, just in this shadowed area. And I'm going to go to a slightly more blue tone. This is Imperial Violet. I'm just making the edge of this petal a little bit raggy. Don't want it a perfect straight line. It's not. It's a bit uneven. Little things like that just will help make it look more natural. Just using less pressure here where it's a paler colour. I'm just turning my hand now so I can make these strokes follow the same direction as the veins. There are very, very fine lines within the petal that do that. And similarly, as it comes out from this sort of sunburst yellow part, and try and follow those lines. I'm just going to blend out these edges. The colour blends towards that paler ring. I'm just going to put in that tiny bit of background, just a line, just to show where the edge of the petals is so you can tell. Just going to use this mulberry colour to change the colour of the edge here. It's got a sort of dotted pattern as well in it. I'm going to suggest that with this colour. I'm just using it to unify that yellow into the purple. I'm going to come in with indigo blue now and really bring these darkest darks down. Little tiny areas like that one there, where the edge of the petal folds up, and you've got that kind of that line there helping to make it look like a spout, almost like a complete fold. Those are the bits you want to pay real attention to because they help define the form of the flower. I'm going to bring in now a really deep purple, this one's called Violet, and just start to shade over the whole lot just to bring it all together. I'm trying to leave some areas that are keeping this white coming through a little bit, so very, very lightly coloured, just so that it gives that lovely lightness on the petal. Don't want to lose that. Helps to give a sense of the delicacy of the flower. That's why it's quite nice to work flowers upon a slightly textured surface. It's a hot pressed paper, but it's still got a bit of tooth to it. Going in with my indigo again. And Imperial Violet. I'm just going to take the edge off this white border because it's not 100% white. And using the colours, just to take the edge off the white, using the colours I've already used in the petal is going to help harmonise the whole effect, make it a bit less like that border is sort of stuck on as a separate thing. I'm just going to use a bit of red to take these dark areas even further down. And the blue again. I'm just going to take where the edge comes round in this shadow, I'm just going to use my grey. A bit more indigo. And I can feel now that in these really dark areas the tooth of the paper is starting to get really saturated, and I'm having to push quite hard to lay any more colour on, so I'm getting to a point where I think I'm going to leave it in the dark bits. I'm just going to quickly just do a tonal check, make sure I've got enough on some of these areas I've left pale. This is the Imperial Violet again. And now I'm just going to use violet and go in and make some of these veins stand out a little bit more. But I don't want to do too much more to it. think it's getting to a point where I'm going to leave it like that so it keeps this nice luminance. And obviously if you're going to work the whole flower, you just carry on in the same way, building up gradual layers for each further petal as well.